Where's JD?
So JD's running late, which means Tap Tiffany. So I'm a little perturbed that not everyone got here on time, but you know, it's all good. That's what we have basic live stream. I did, it was already started. That's not the charge of nature. I thought that, you know, that was only, actually, we had it knocked out 7 minutes. 7 minutes. You're right. Actually, I didn't know. I really, no. I was happy. No, basically my thing was I wanted to try to, I found that last year when we did our board meetings after the meeting, it could go an hour, 2 hours talking. It was just like, that's just too Hello, can everyone hear me? Huh? But you can hear me though, right? I mean, I probably don't even need this. That's how, but whatever. I'm going to use it anyway. You can move up front. I mean, you don't have to be in the back. You can be right up front with our district governor. Come on now. Yeah, right? Okay, so this is going to be the first and last time that I'm using the bell. But I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, but it looks like a bell. Okay, this thing that makes a lot of noise. Okay, that makes a lot more noise than I even needed it to. Hello, everyone. My name is David. I am the president of the Katy Lions Club. Thank you, everyone who's come in person. Wish there were more of you. And thank you to everyone who is going to be watching on Facebook Live, both today and in the next, days, weeks, etc. to come. Today, this is our community night. It's July 7th. On guest tonight, we have Constance Jones. She is a representative with the state of Texas. That will happen in a little while. But for now, I wanted to introduce our board of directors, and I also wanted to introduce our ACLs. The ACLs, that's what we call our advisors, coordinators, and team leaders. So not everyone is here right now. We have some people who are working late for summer and what have you. But again, my name is David Green. I am the president and the communications director. Over here, we have Lydia Osuna. She is our first vice president and also our membership chair. Tawana Goodwin here in that lovely blue. Matching with the district governor, is our second vice president and education chair. Sue Green, who is not here right now, she is our treasurer and also our club administrator. She's also our LCIF coordinator. Then Maddie Thigpen, over there in the back in the purple. Stand up, Maddie. You know we love you. Maddie is our secretary and also our parliamentarian. And then Tiffany Walker. Tiffany, you can stand up too. The only one in pure yellow tonight, she is our service chair and elected director. And then the ACLs, the advisors, the coordinators, the team leaders. Daniel Lee, he is not here right now. He's actually in Hawaii right now, but he is our childhood cancer awareness coordinator. JD Shipley, who is currently at work, he's traveling from Houston. He's going to be about 20 minutes late today. He is our diabetes awareness coordinator. Estella, can you please stand up? Okay. Estella is our Hispanic outreach advisor. Here in the Katy community, we have a lot of members of the Hispanic population, and so we said we needed to have someone specifically who can help extend our membership and help advance there. Then Representative Constance Jones in the back in that stunning red dress. She is our health fair coordinator. She's also our guest speaker tonight, so you're going to be hearing a lot more from her later. Kiva Mackey, who is not here right now, she just finished doing a long, grueling day. She does every Thursday, so we may or may not see her actually in person. She is our hunger coordinator. She actually runs Children Like Lonnie, which is one of our organization's community partners. We have Caswell Jones, who is coming back from school right now. He's a world history teacher, so he's running a little late. He may or may not make it. Tawana. He's online today. Oh, even better. All right, he is one of our Leo advisors. We have Alexandra Lowe. She's actually up in Princeton right now, and she is our new communities coordinator. And I'd like to say we're trying to invade not just other communities, but other states, because Lions are everywhere and we want to be everywhere. Then Latricia up here, she is our vision coordinator. Latricia, stand up. So as we all know, District Governor Paul got his start with vision, so I'm so glad the two of them are sitting at the same table. And then Carol in the back, she is an associate member of our club. She is also our immediate past president. But since we're not allowed to call her immediate past president if she's not a member of our club, we just call her our most recent past president. Now, if I can get Tawana and Tiffany to come up. One of the things that I want to try this year is I want to read off the ethics of Lions Clubs International as it pertains. That way we can focus ourselves for the new year and the year coming up. You're going to read the T's, you're going to read the JD's.
This mic. To show my faith in the worthiness of my vocation by industrious application to the end that I may merit a reputation for the quality of service, to seek success and to demand all fair remuneration or profit as my just due, but to accept no profit or success at the price of my own self-respect lost because of my unfair advantage taken or because of questionable acts on my part.
Alrighty. To remember that in building up my business, it is not necessary to tear down another's, to be loyal to my clients or customers and true to myself. Whenever a doubt arises as to the right or ethics of my position or action towards others, to resolve such doubt against myself.
To hold friendship as an end and not a means, to hold that true friendship exists not on account of the service performed by one another, but that true friendship demands nothing but accept service in the spirit of which it is given. Always to bear in mind my obligation as a citizen to my nation, my state, and my community, as to give them my unswerving loyalty in word, act, and deed, to give them freely of my time, labor, and means.
To aid others by giving my sympathy to those in distress, my aid to the weak, and my substance to the needy. To be careful with my criticism and liberal with my praise, to build up and not destroy. Let's call up David.
David, come on.
Thank you, ladies. And just to point out, those were the ethics of Lions Clubs International. These are the ethics that every Lion, whether you are a Texas Lion, a Katy Lion, a Connecticut Lion, a California Lion, a Turkish Lion, a Chinese Lion, it doesn't matter. All 1.4 plus million lions adhere to these same ethical standards. And now if I can ask Lydia and Maddie to come up to read the purpose of the Katy Lions Club. Now, these are adapted from Lions Club's international purpose. And the reason they're adapted is because on International's website, it's about all of the clubs, and these are specific to ours.
Okay, so purpose of the Katy Lions Club: to coordinate activities in service to Katy, to create and foster a spirit of understanding,
to promote all the principles of good government and good citizenship of kinds. To take an active interest in the civil, cultural, social, and moral welfare of Katy.
to unite our members in the bonds of friendship, good fellowship, and mutual understanding, to provide forum for the open discussion of all matters of public interest, provided, however, that partisan politics and sectarian religion shall not be debated by club members.
To encourage service-minded people to serve Katy without personal financial reward, to encourage efficiencies and promote high ethical standards in commerce, industry, professional, public work, and private endeavor.
So now, David, can you please come up?
Before I move on, I just want to highlight one of the key points there. We're actually prevented from doing anything with regards to sectarian religion and partisan politics. Earlier this year, so under my predecessor, a concern was raised that, we're having the Pledge of Allegiance, we're having an invocation. And there was a concern that, while yes, that was always part of our tradition as an organization, after all, we've been around for almost 50 years, there was a feeling that it was exclusionary, it wasn't inclusive. After all, we're an international organization. Why are we pledging allegiance to the US flag, the Texas flag? Why are we praying to one God over another? Even though, especially now that we're meeting in a church, That said, one of the things that this board of directors, we made the decision is that we would display the flag of Lions Clubs International, but we would not have the U.S. flag, we would not have the Texas flag, we wouldn't be pledging allegiance to anything, and we wouldn't be saying a prayer. Instead, what we wanted to do was we wanted to list off the ethics and we wanted to list off the purpose, because ultimately our function is to serve. And the best way to serve is to not be exclusionary, to be inclusive. With that, I would like to invite Latricia, who was gracious enough to represent us at our ice cream social alongside Maddie. Come on up, Latricia.
Good evening, fellow Lions. Again, I'm Tricia. I'm reporting on the Katy Ice Cream Social that took place June 24th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the historic downtown Katy, hosted by the City of Katy Parks and Recreation Department. It was a hot day. Gratefully, it was indoors, and there were a few activities outside for the community. Free ice cream was handed out to all guests and participants. Ice cream was from Howdy's. If you don't know about Howdy's, it's new to Katy, and one of its goals is that it is on the relentless pursuit to provide employment to individuals with special needs and to give back to the community. Maddie and I had a great time. We didn't know what to expect, so the suspense was killing us all the way there. We played scenarios in our head, what we were going to do when we got there. We just didn't know what to expect. Pleasantly, we walked in the building. We were greeted by the Howdy's happy staff. The room was already set up, tables set. There were assigned labeled tables. Maddie did an awesome job in greeting and getting the word out and extending warm invitations to the Lions Club. We even had a few interested Leos as well. I want to mention that we did have a great time, but what I saw was that the presentation of the Lions Club was not to our standards. And everybody's table was set really nicely. They had signs, they had tablecloths, they had everything. And I just thought that we could do a little more and a little better of presenting ourselves when we go out. And we did the best we could. We worked with what we had, and we shined in our own. But I would like for us to collectively come together and figure out how we can present ourselves better when we go out to represent us. Huh? Thank you. Oh, go ahead.
So, what two things would you like most? What are your top two wish list items to do better for next time?
Well, what I did was didn't know what I was expecting, so I went ahead and bought the blue tablecloths already to cover the table. I would like a liner, or I won't say the flag, but a sign. Most people had a sign that knew that was the Katy Lions table. You didn't know until you walked up to us. Of course, I had a big lion on my shirt. You know, I tried my best. Miss Maddie had on a lion shirt. But we need something to grasp everybody's attention toward us, because everybody else had everything laid out on their table except us. You know, so I would say a sign and a liner that says the Lions Club. I do have this whole envision to myself, you know, how it should look, but I would like a collective, you know, before I go out and just do it. Okay? Thank you.
One of the items I would like to challenge all of our Lions this year, and also I would like to ask, even if you're not a Lion in our organization, if you're a community partner, if you're someone in the community, what would you identify? What would make it easier for you to see us and have us be more visible to you? What resources do you need? What services can we provide Katy? You know, we have a lot to offer. If you go on our website, www.katylions.org, and go, 50 years of service, there's a section, Why Us? So there's a lot to see there. But how can we better serve our community? And that includes being more visible. So what do you think we could do? My email address is always open, liondavid@katylions.org. It's on the website. You can also email lionlatricia@katylions.org if you have any ideas there. I would also like to highlight, we have a lot of service coming up this year. With that said, I would like to ask Lion Tiffany, who is our service chair, to come up and just highlight the next couple of them. I know we've got a crazy busy calendar coming up, and a lot of those are on our homepage at katielyons.org. But until then, Tiffany, what you got on the deck?
Because I don't want to trip over that. It's just like a safety hazard. But thank you, everybody, for attending this evening's community night for our Lions Club. Today, we did have our Children Like Lonnie's volunteering opportunity to go deliver food or hand out food to those that need food for their weekly food pantry. So if you guys ever have enough time in your schedule, or even to create that time in your schedule for Wednesdays from 4 to 6, or even Thursdays from 12 to 2, that will be just a blessing to at least well over 150 families to feed and to get them going. And then we also have our back to school drive that we're seeking pencils, pens, notebooks, backpacks, and everything like that. And then later on down the line, we will have our partnership with our health fair with Miss Constance that we're getting situated, and everything is getting ready for that. So if you do know any vendors, healthcare vendors preferably, but any vendors that would actually love to want to participate in that, that would be just a blessing as well to everybody that's wanting to make a difference, as we all are, since we are all Lions anyway. So that is my call to action. If you have the time, if you can carve out some time, because why else be a Lion if you cannot volunteer to make a difference in somebody's life or in a family's life? Okay. And then now I will do an introduction to our guest speaker, Miss Constance Jones. If you give me 1 second. So Miss Constance R. Jones is our state officer, Texas Coalition Black Caucus. From 2016 through 2019 was her very first term. From 2021 through 2024 is her current term. Ms. Jones descends from Abbeville, Louisiana, and has been a Houston native for over 30 years. Constance pursued her studies in healthcare law and business administration, majoring in healthcare compliance. In addition, she has over 25 years of experience working at all levels of corporate compliance. She has been a consultant, a head administrator, an auditor, and a guest speaker in her field of expertise. And if you were to look her up on LinkedIn, you would see multiple pictures of her represented by various fields, okay? For several years, Ms. Jones worked as a compliance auditor for the state of Texas and Harris County Medicaid HMO. She opened her own compliance consulting company, CRJ Healthcare Credentials and Consulting, in early 2000, specializing in opening hospitals, surgery centers, and clinics, including overseeing state-mandated audits and surveys. Especially in this time of day, you need somebody like that with COVID still prevalent. She was first elected in 2016 and was reelected for a third term as a state officer for the Texas Coalition Black Caucus in 2021. In 2017, Governor Abbott mandated a state task force, and Ms. Jones was recruited by the steering committee from the University of Texas to serve on the Texas State Task Force for Policy and Legislative Maternal Morbidity Committee. This has proven to be one of her greatest accomplishments, as she is dedicated to true advocacy for women's health care. Ms. Jones deeply believes in supporting her community and has volunteered and served in various professional, civic, and charitable organizations. Some of the organizations she is actively involved are in our Executive Board for International Women's Empowerment Movement, National Congress of Black Women, Annie's List Steering Committee, the Texas chapter, member of the National Medical Malpractice Advocacy Association, and Executive Senior VP for Community Affairs, and Chief Compliance Officer with American Caribbean Chamber of Commerce, just to name a few. The American Caribbean Chamber of Commerce awarded Ms. Jones for her work as an advocate for women's health care and political voice. The award was presented at one of the most prestigious events of the year. Awarded as a Phenomenal Woman, Global Award 2021. Ms. Jones was also featured in We Empower magazine in March 2021 as an advocate for women's health care rights. Most recently, Ms. Jones was nominated in 2022 to receive an award from the Houston Urban League Guild for her community service work. And without much further ado, Ms. Constance R. Jones.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. I appreciate that. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to our Facebook Live audience. Everyone that came out, thank you so much for deciding to spend your evening with the Katy Lions chapter. As Tiffany mentioned, um, my name is Constance Jones, and as a current elected official, I absolutely love what I do, especially the work with advocating for women's health care, with especially with what's going on in today's world today. Everyone sees the news. We know all about it. However, I will not harp on that, but just know that that is my area of expertise, and it brings me extreme joy to be able to work in that line of work, ensuring that everyone, no matter your ethnicity, that you have your rights to health care and how you want to be treated. So, in December of 2021, as Chief Compliance Officer, I was asked to spearhead all government initiatives programs. What company are you speaking of? Currently, I serve as of 2021 as the Chief Medical Officer for Black Wall Street, as well as a Compliance Officer for Black Wall Street. This is where I was asked after a few months if I would possibly be interested in spearheading all federal government programs that would benefit all communities. Of course, I jumped at the opportunity, being that I am involved in numerous civic duties or organizations where I serve the community in whatever capacity, one of which I am currently working in partnership with Excess Telecom. This particular program provides tablets, computer tablets, to families who qualify under the criteria set forth by the government program. This contract was secured on last year, and I must say it has taken off greatly. This program entails providing tablets to families, which part of our mission is to develop advocacy programs and provide a networking venue for services that will benefit all communities. Who is eligible for these services? This computer tablet program is available to anyone who falls in the following category. They live in Texas or other states. This program is active in numerous states. So I am safe to say that it is national. I have done some work in Louisiana as well, and I am even talking to maybe possibly doing the same type of work in Florida. But most specifically, since I live in Houston, Texas, that is where my primary focus is. Also part of the criteria, they must have an income level at or below 21% of federal poverty guidelines, have resources less than $2,000 a month, and even if they accept or they have any of the following benefits that they are currently receiving, such as SNAP, food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, SSI, free reduced lunch, and just overall at a certain income level. How do I apply for these services? You would first start by completing an application, which I am more than happy to share with anyone here. If you are part of an organization or just your work and you know someone that may fit in that category, especially families that have more than one child and they may not be in a position to purchase that particular tablet, especially with some having their kids being homeschooled. It is perfect for that. I have been meeting with different school principals as it relates to this particular program, connecting with community centers, civic centers, retirement homes, anyone that falls in that category, churches, it doesn't matter. I am available. Since I am the head administrator that spearheads that program, most likely I am the person that comes out. I do the presentations for the program, and I also answer any questions that anyone may have as it relates to that program. That is only one of those programs that I am currently spearheading. Once the approval is done, the second half to that application process is that it takes anywhere from 24 to 72 hours at a minimum for approval. One thing about government programs, and I know everyone here that deals with the federal government, they are very strict. Before I was able to spearhead this program, I did have to go through an extensive background because we're dealing with federal. While we're not dealing with any funds, that was part of the process in order to be the person that would be the front person to actually spearhead this program. Again, once you've been approved, then a date is set where all of the approvals are meeting at the designated time. And this tablet program does require, after approval, that you pay a one-time $11 activation fee. The tablet is yours. It is unlimited data. The only requirements from the federal government is that you log in at least once a month. We have a lot of seniors that I've been working with that's not really computer savvy. They have been enjoying receiving these tablets. They don't like the big laptops. The tablet serves their purpose, and they have been enjoying it, like I said. Another federal program that I was recently presented with to spearhead is the Hotspots by T-Mobile. This particular program is hotspots with unlimited data via T-Mobile cellular services. We currently, from what I was presented with, we currently have funding for services through the end of this particular calendar year, but have applied for an additional year of funding. And this is in cooperation with Harris County, the overall county itself, as well as Harris County Public Library. That is who I am initially working with, along with Houston Food Bank, to issue out this program. In order to check out a hotspot, people must have a HCPL library card. However, if you do not, if your clients do not have a library card, you can enroll them very quickly, in which I was given a link. I can sign them up, and then they will be able to go to the designated location, give them their information and ID, and you will receive that hotspot and receive a year of free internet. That is another community service that I am involved in, and I must say that going to the different apartment complexes, community events, there has been a great, very positive response especially for the students that may not otherwise have access, and their family don't have to pay for internet for an entire year. So I would love to expand that to the Katy area. Anyone that fits in that particular criteria, please see me after the meeting. If you need for me to come and do a presentation, I will be more than happy to accommodate, because again, my whole goal as part of my role, not only as an elected official to deal with policy and legislation at a state level, but I'm also community oriented. And my main focus is ensuring that everyone has access to all of the different services that's being provided, such as Lions Club, with what we do with the vision and the health care. And speaking of the health care, I definitely want to touch on that just a minute. As the newly appointed person as the health care coordinator, I would like to reiterate that I know Tiffany explained to everyone, and she did an excellent job, that we are currently still looking for vendors. The health fair is scheduled to take place September the 24th, and as far as I know, it is still scheduled to take place in the Katy Square. I know yesterday I was invited to the first BNI, courtesy of our wonderful president. I want to personally thank David for the invite, because I was able to make a lot of good connects, some of which showed interest and that they would like to be a participating vendor with the health fair. So I did start my follow-up on today with those connects. Thank you again, David. It was a wonderful event. David, our current president, was the main speaker. He did an excellent job, and I hope that that won't be my last time attending a BNI event. It was very, very educational, and again, it's an excellent place to network, especially with what the Lions Club is doing and what we even may be doing on a personal level. Again, if anyone has any questions, I will now, this concludes my presentation about the two priority federal programs that I am currently overseeing. And if anyone has any questions, I will now open the floor for questions. All right, I'll start with you. Thank you. So the question was, is there a link for the applications? The answer is no, there is not a link. You will have to personally reach out to me, and I will email the application to you and or your organization. Okay. Tiffany?
Is this program only geared towards schools, churches, or just nonprofits?
No, ma'am. This program, when my president first was in negotiations to secure the actual contract, it was told to her that this program is open to anyone, long as you fit in that particular criteria of what I listed. And I'm more than happy to go over that again if anyone has any questions about what criteria you should meet. I've been going to churches. I've been going to senior retirement homes. I've also been going to community centers. And I have also had people reach out to me to set up at community events. So it is open to anyone that fits in that criteria, and they submit their application and they get approved. They are eligible to receive that free computer tablet. Another thing I just want to make a quick note of, a lot of times I get questions about, well, what brand of tablet is it? What we were told again by the government, there is no specific brand. Every time a shipment comes in, once the orders are placed, there are different brands. But the one brand that we will not ever see, and they made it very clear, it will not be any Apple products. So my thing is, it's free. You pay a one-time $11 activation fee, and it's unlimited data and access to the internet. So I just want to make that quick note because I do get a lot of questions. Well, what kind of tablet is it or what brand? The brand differs. Even us as agents never know what brand we're going to receive once we pick up the shipment. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I would like to know, once a person have received these tablets and the internet is turned on, would they be able to use the tablet anywhere?
Yes, ma'am. With these tablets, the one thing that the stipulation that was reiterated to us, because we did have to go through training, because they're constantly implementing rules with this program. And I do know with the last training last month that I was in attendance at, they did make it very clear that one of the stipulations is that you must log on at least once a month. But to answer your question specifically, the tablet can be utilized anywhere, and it is unlimited data. No monthly notes. Once you get the tablet is yours, and we're done. We have even implemented a 1-800 24-hour customer service. Well, I should say the government entered because it's their program. I do want to make this point out. When I do presentations at different organizations, I don't know if anyone here remember or is familiar with the Lifeline program. That is where you have the phones or maybe other items that they presented. The one thing, and here's the stickler, if you have a Lifeline cell phone, you do have to make a choice. Do you want to keep the phone or you want the tablet? Now, that is something that in the beginning, they didn't reiterate that to us as we were going out to share about this program. But when it came to it, and they actually were approved for a tablet, some of the constituents, their actual Lifeline sale got cut off. So as I'm doing presentations, I always tell people, if you are currently receiving and you have in your possession a Lifeline cell phone, at that time it will be up to you if you want the tablet or the phone, because the government is not allowing you to have both. That's just FYI. Yes.
What are the income guidelines or criteria on what does that look like?
Okay, so for the criteria, first and foremost, they would complete the application, as I said. And when you submit your application, you must also provide me with a copy of your ID and, of course, a copy of your benefits. Whatever category you fit in, if you're receiving Social Security, I would need to have a copy of that. Everything is HIPAA compliance. It is confidential. For me, myself, I have to personally enter these applications. I personally made a decision that I did not want 2, 3, 4 different people handling personal information. I'm very serious when it comes to confidentiality and compliance because that is part of my background. So I myself is the one person that enters all of that data and upload that information to the government database that was designated with our own personal login. Also, as I mentioned before, once I upload all of that information, the approval process can take anywhere from 24 to 72 hours at a minimum. Now, as far as the criteria that needs to be met, most likely when you provide me with your benefits award letter that you're receiving SNAP, food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare, SSI, Social Security. What I've seen 90% of the time, I get an automatic approval. The ones that is going on that's not receiving any of those benefits, and they're going on the amount of money that they make on a yearly basis, they ask how many people is in the household, which of course will determine, and then they actually ask what is the total amount per year that the family overall makes. And what I've seen, basically 40,000 and under, they still get approved. That's not to say that if you make over 40,000 a year, depending on how many is in the household, that you won't get approved, because you don't know until I upload the information. I tell people I'm not the one that does the approval. My job is to be the agent for the company to actually go out, because once the government tells us this program is done and is over, and that it can happen at any time, we don't have an exact time. What they have instructed us to do is to ensure that we get the free computer tablets out to as many organizations, families, neighborhoods, etc., as possible. And once they tell us it's done, then we will no longer have that program. I do want to highlight, my president is in the process of trying to negotiate, early negotiations, where they may even be doing laptops. It's not guaranteed that we will be able to secure that contract. In the event we do, I will then also be offering laptops, and the criteria will pretty much be the same. By the way, the tablets are one per family. You have to be 18 years or older. They won't allow us if you have 3, 4, 5 children. It doesn't matter. We know we have some parents say, well, their age, it's a difference in their age. While I can empathize with them on that, basically the government says one per family. And I will tell you this, because it is a government program, and I have had it happen. If you have filled out an application, and on that application you have one address, and then you may see me at another event or another location on the side of Houston, and you put somebody else, let's just say you try to put someone else's address. Well, guess what? Everyone knows Uncle Sam sees all and knows all. You will be denied. So when I say it's one tablet per household, per address, when that information is uploaded, it is the government on the other side of that application database that is processing those applications. It is my job just to gather the data, make sure that you fit in certain criteria, and that I submit everything that's required to get you a quick approval. David, you had another question?
Is there a central repository database listing of all of the programs that are available to residents in the state of Texas?
I will have to get back to you on that. I know for me and what I'm affiliated with, and of course there are organizations that do numerous things, but I will try and get that answer, and I'll be happy to bring that answer back to the chapter, at the next meeting. Or just, I would definitely text you and let you know. But I would definitely check into that. Anyone else? Time? All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I look forward to working with everyone. Tiffany, Vision Coordinator, JD with the Health Fair coming up. Thank you guys for your time and your attention. And if you have any other additional questions, I will be available after the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Constance. You are so awesome. When I say I love you, it's not hyperbole. So we did not have a venue sponsor tonight. Normally what would happen if we had a venue sponsor like we will next month is at the beginning of the meeting, the venue sponsor gets, 3 to 5 minutes to share what they are, what they're doing, what they've got going on. What that looks like, a venue sponsor, it's $250. There's only 12 of them for the year. Well, now there's only 11. It's $250 one time. You get added on. Your logo goes on our brochure. Your logo goes on our, advertising. It's published. And like I said, you get those, 3 to 5 minutes at the beginning of the meeting to just promote the heck out of yourself. And I mean, we have about 24,000 followers on this Facebook page, the Be a Great Lion page. And then it's also shared to another page so it's cross-posted. So between the two, there's almost 50,000 Facebook followers that will see this. Plus, again, this video is going to stay on our Facebook page as long as Facebook is going to let it. With that said, since we didn't have a venue sponsor, as president, I made the executive decision to ask our district governor if he would want a couple of minutes to just come on up and share what he's got coming up on the pipeline. So, District Governor Paul, if you would.
Thank you, President David. I don't have anything prepared, so y'all are in luck. My name is Lion Paul. I'm with the Woodlands Lions Club. This year I'm serving on the board as the immediate past president, and I am also fortunate enough to be district governor of District 2S2. For those of you who don't know, Katy is a part of District 2S2, which includes all of Harris County, Waller County, Montgomery County, Chambers County, San Jacinto County, and Walker County. So we go from Hempstead in the west, I think is probably our westernmost, to Anahuac in the southeast, to Huntsville in the north. So any Lions Club in those 7 counties is in our district. There are 16 districts in Texas, and they were originally 5. There was one district, MD2, Texas, and then they split the work up 5 ways and made districts T, E, X, A, and S. And since that time, T has split its work up 3 times, so there's 1, 2, and 3. E is split up twice, X is split up 3 times, A is split up 3 times, and S is split up 5 times. So that's how we get 16 districts in Texas. Big news coming up is Saturday, July 16th will be our first district day. What this is I'm trying to combine several activities. We're going to have at 9 in the morning a seminar on reporting with My Lion, so that everybody, all the clubs can understand how to report on My Lion and what our expectations are for that. Then at 10:30 we'll have a cabinet meeting, which will be our first cabinet meeting. I'll set out my vision for the districts and my challenges to the clubs. When we looked at district goals this year, I have one district goal, and that is to challenge the clubs. And if all the clubs make the challenge, then I will hit all my goals easily. So we'll talk about that, and I'll give you a sneak preview. The first criteria, the first challenge I'm giving the clubs is to work on the Club Excellence Award. If every club in our district earned the Club Excellence Award, I would hit most of my goals without even trying. So that's because you are the people, you are the volunteers. This is where the work is done. If you look at the way district is organized, district is the foundation that the clubs sit on. One of my first, there's an event in September called the USA Canada Lions Leadership Forum. It's a spectacular event. The first time I went, there's Lions from all over the United States and Canada at this, and it's seminars and training and greeting and meeting and getting to know people. And I'm sitting in the class, and they said, just remember, and you'll hear this again, there's only 2 presidents in Lions Club. There's the international president, who this year is Lion Brian Sheehan from Bird Island, Minnesota, at which point everybody in the crowd goes, where the H is Bird Island. And the second president is the president of your Lions Club, Lion David Green, in this year. The second fact is that presidents do not report to governors. We don't have an organization from the top pushing down to the clubs. The clubs sit above. The clubs are independent. Your club, your way. And so our job with Lions Clubs International is to support and empower the clubs to serve their communities. Now, it was very interesting to me when I first read the mission statement that was up until March. It said to empower volunteers to serve their communities. And I thought, why is it plural? Why is it their communities, not their community? And I started thinking about it, and I'm just going to use my pens as an example. Y'all, Katy is your community, right? Well, you're part of District 2S2, and this is my district pin for this year. So District 2S2 is part of your community. It's not it's where you live. It's where your club is a part of the district. This is our multiple district pin this year. The state of Texas is the multiple district. All 16 districts in Texas report to one council of governors. And so you're a part of the Lions of Texas. And as a part of the Lions of Texas, for example, you have a partial ownership in the Texas Lions Camp. Does everybody know what Texas Lions Camp is? No, not everybody? Texas Lions Camp is a camp, it's 512 acres outside of Kerrville, Texas. The Lions started it in 1949, and it was originally called Texas Lions Camp for Crippled Children. It was a camp set up for children with polio because during the late 40s, early 50s, we were having a polio epidemic in this country. Well, since then, it's become a camp for children with medical issues. And it can be anything from bad asthma to missing a limb, to type 1 diabetes, to being a cancer survivor. And what do we do with these kids? We give them a week at camp at no cost to their family. And if they can't get there without help, then a Lion will pick them up and get them to Kerrville. Because we will make sure that kids get it. And we had 2 years ago, well, last time we had full camp, we had over 1,600 kids that summer with a paid-for week of camp. So that's part of things that you own as a Texas Lion. Up here, this pin up the top is the International President's Pin. That's because we were a part of Constitutional Area 1, which is the United States and some of the Caribbean islands. And then we were part of International. And so I'm going to stop because David's probably said I told you 3 minutes, and I've probably talked for 5 already. If you have any questions about any of this, I'm going to ask David to invite me back as an official governor visit, and you'll get to see me in my full governor uniform, and I'll have hopefully 20 minutes where I can razzle-dazzle you and let you know more about this. But Lions Clubs is an amazing organization. I just got back from Montreal, where our international convention was this year, where we elected the new president and had him installed. And then he installed us as new governors. It was a very fun event. The parade was amazing. The parade of flags in the opening ceremony, 193 country flags were paraded out. That's the organization you are a part of. 1.4 million lions and Leos around the world. So don't ever think that it's just the people in this room. And we're supported from the top. I can tell you President Bryan would support everything I'm seeing in this club. Please keep up the good work. All success this year. Good luck. You have a question? Nope? Okay.
Thank you, DG Paul. So on our website, katielions.org, at the bottom, if you scroll down past the events of what's coming up, there's a list of all the charities that we support through our club, and there are also charities that we support as a Lions Club in partnership with the district and in partnership with the state. So you want to learn more about the Texas Lions Camp, you want to learn more about the Texas Lions Foundation, you want to learn more about I Vega, Texas, World Service of Lions, exactly. You know, there are about a dozen or so charities and organizations that we support through our service and through our fundraising. Not to mention Lions Club's International Foundation, which has awarded 1.6 billion. No, are we up to 2 billion now? Oh, 1.2 billion. I was overinflating them. Okay. So, you know, when you're a part of the Lions Club, your service is always magnified, and that's why you pay dues, and that's why you come out and you serve, and that's why we always need everyone's help to, you know, extend and promote and serve. With that said, we are pretty much done a few minutes, or actually we're done right on time, but before we finish up, if you have not yet had the opportunity to purchase your 50/50 raffle ticket, right now, make a beeline over to Lydia and give her some cash. They're $1 each, because then we are going to be drawing a ticket real soon. Just a reminder, tickets are $1 each. Okay. And then has anyone in here not bought tickets? Because I need someone who hasn't bought tickets to draw the ticket. Cheryl, you're closer to me. And I think and you'll probably look better on the Facebook Live. All right, JD, you're up. Well, listen, if y'all don't want to come up, I'll do it myself. And then you know it'll be me who wins. I think it was like 2 times ago. I'm glad it's you. You're the only guy bigger than me in the room.
Where are we doing?
I have no idea. I'm waiting for them to come up. So while we're waiting on that, this is JD. He is our diabetes awareness coordinator. He is also
Thank you for adding awareness to that.
You're welcome. So originally it was just diabetes coordinator, but he said, I don't want to do this if you don't add awareness. I'm like, okay, I got you.
I don't want to coordinate diabetes.
I mean, listen. So
I appreciate you putting the awareness to it.
we used to do candy days, and that was encouraging coordinating diabetes right there.
Yeah.
So JD actually owns 2 strength training gyms. So if you are in the Houston area, if you're in the Katy area, and you want to do some strength training, I got to tell you, it's helped me a lot. And I haven't even gone that long. In fact, I missed
1
a
month?
week.
1 month?
Yeah, it's been
Less
a
than
month.
a month.
It's been less than a month, and my first numbers versus the numbers that I'm at now were really.
Right here.
The man who can bench me. It's true, he can. He can bench all of us. I mean,
Can I look and no? I was told I got to pick somebody's name. No. All right.
oh, we're going by numbers? Okay.
Would you like me to read the numbers?
I would love for you to read the numbers.
9923241. Did you win?
I don't know, I have to see. My tickets are
Oh,
over there.
Maybe it's you because nobody else is saying anything. 999232241. He won? Boo. It's 50-50. You got to split it with somebody, right?
So I split it with the club. It's not 50,
Oh.
25, 25.
Okay.
So now we're going to find out how much I won. But in the meantime, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. If you need bottled water, you can sit down now. If you need bottled water on your way out, we do have water there. If you want to hang out for a little bit and chat with Constance, she's in the back, and she'd love to talk shop with you. If you want to talk about solar, Paul Oxendine at this table is a really great solar guy. If you want to talk benching, we got JD. If you need to talk law, we got Cheryl, who's an ADA with Waller County. If you need to talk cancer, Latricia, who is, in addition to being our vision coordinator, is also works for MD Anderson. If you need to talk buying a house, Tiffany in the back can help you out. If you have some medical ailments, Fauska can help you out because she is an at-home nurse. So yeah, we got a pretty awesome club going on here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn things off now.